Welcome to Nattys Crafts. I'm Natalie. I always do all the crafting. And today we are basically just going to wrap up the season, right? Christmas was the other day, the other day. And next week is New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So we're going to start a brand new year. So let's go ahead and get ready for that. So some winter crafts, some New Year's crafts, organization, that type of thing. So if you would, go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up. Make sure to leave a comment down below and always subscribe. When you subscribe, you should hit the bell so that you know when the next video comes out. So let's go ahead and go take a look. So let's start with a winter centerpiece. So I got this little tray from Aldi a while back, probably a month ago, and it was on sale for a couple bucks. So I picked it up because I loved it. And we're going to use one of these glass vases from Dollar Tree and also one of their tall LED candles. Also, these lights that I am unwinding, we're going to use those, and a whole bunch of pine cones. These pine cones, I believe I got these at Hobby Lobby at the end of the season last year. So you'll probably be able to get these really cheap in a couple days, or maybe even right now. They may already have everything 75 to 90% off. So I just am turning the lights on so that I can see where the lights are. And then basically going to set the pine cones around those lights to make sure you can see them and they're lit up and it's pretty and all the things. And I'm not using any hot glue or anything. If you have children or if you have animals that maybe get into stuff, you might want to use some hot glue, but I'm just setting everything down because I don't have anyone that's going to mess with this. And you basically just are going to fill up the tray as much as you like. As tall as you want or as low as you want, or however wide and thick you want it, that's the way you get to do it. That's the great thing about crafting for yourself. And that's it. Just as easy as that. Put some pine cones in a tray and you're all set. And I think it's adorable. It is definitely winter, not Christmas. You could put a little paint on your pine cones if you're in a snowy state. I'm in Texas. We pretty much don't get snow, so I'm not putting any snow on my pine cones. But I just thought this was just adorable. I love that it lights up because I love lights. So I loved it. I think it's adorable and super quick. And then we're going to do the same basic idea. We're going to use just the glass jar this time, the lights, and the pine cones. And we're going to put the lights in the jar first. And then we're going to drop the pine cones in as we go so that, again, the pine cones are all lit up. Now, as you'll notice, I'm just throwing the pine cones in the jar. Not the best idea because they don't all fit that way. And I had some gaps. So once I filled it all up here, well, eventually, once I filled it all up, I figured out that I couldn't fit them all in. And so then I took them all back out and redid it. So I put some of the smaller ones mixed in with the larger ones down at the bottom is what I ended up needing to do. So that there weren't any big gaps, because there was a big gap at near the very bottom. So basically I'm just going to take everything out and redo it. Now this is the easiest 2-minute craft you could ever do. If you're trying to quick decorate before a New Year's Eve party or something like that, here's what you do. Grab a vase, grab some pine cones, and go at it. Because super easy, super quick. Make it look however full or however not full you want it. And put your lights on and it's just pretty. It's a nice glowing effect. I love it. I think it's adorable. And there it is on my table. And then we're going to do another centerpiece, another winter centerpiece, using the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I thought I was going to use this sign, so I was preparing it. I was taking the hanger off, and then I was going to work on getting that price tag or that sticker off. And then I figured out that this sign is way too big for what I want. So I ended up just scrapping this all together. And I'm just going to put my Christmas trees together to make the centerpiece. Lots have done this in the past. All we're going to do is make the tree so that it's flat on one side and then make it a little fuller on the other side. So we're going to take off the bottom, which is super easy just to spin it off. And then we're going to get another tree, and same thing. We don't need the legs and we don't need that little holder at the bottom. So spin that off. And then we're just going to, again, lay it flat down on the table, and then just fluff up all of the branches so that they are as fluffy as you want them to be. I didn't want them sticking up. I wanted them more flat to the ground. I only wanted them coming up off of the table a little bit. So you'll see that as I go here. And then these trees, of course, are pretty scarce in terms of how many branches are on them. So you can see the metal pole that all the branches are attached to. And that really long piece up at the top, that's where you put your star when you're doing it as a Christmas tree. We're going to bend that back along with the piece at the bottom. And we're going to connect those two pieces to cover up that metal pole that's holding all the branches together. I figured that was the easiest way to cover that up without having to do a whole lot of work. And because they are wire, you are able to just twist them amongst themselves to keep them still. So I'm just continuing to fluff it up the way I want it. We're going to grab the other Christmas tree and do the exact same thing. Get the long piece from the top, get that out of the way, and then fluff around that. And then we'll lay that long piece down along with one of the bottom pieces. And just twist them around each other itself and then bend it down. Super easy. And then I took a black pipe cleaner to connect these two trees together. Now, you could make this, I'm using the green trees obviously, but it might look cool with the white trees as well. You might give that a try. That might give it a little different look and even less holiday. The pine makes it look a tiny bit holiday, but I'm okay with it. And then instead of that big sign, I'm going to use these little crafter squares wood pieces. There's 6 in a bag. And these were the perfect size. And then I'm going to cover that piece with this burlap that I got from Hobby Lobby on sale last year. So I'm just going to cover the whole piece of wood in burlap. Not that you're going to see it very much, and the natural wood is beautiful. You could leave it just like that without any of this extra. But you know, I always have to go the extra, so I'm going to cover it in burlap. And I'm just using hot glue. Just quick and easy. I like quick crafts. I like easy crafts, so that's what we're doing here. And I'm sorry, my heater just shut off, so you probably were hearing that blowing. That was my heater. I apologize. So we're just hot gluing the burlap onto itself and onto that wood piece. And again, this is probably completely unnecessary, but I just like the way this looked versus just the bare wood. And then we're going to attach the centerpiece onto that little piece of wood. That's kind of what's going to be kind of how you carry it or move it around without it being loose. And I'm going to add 2 more pipe cleaners, one at each end of the pole of the Christmas trees. So one on each side. And then we're going to put glue on those pipe cleaners and glue that onto that burlap covered board that we made. And then we're just going to do some more fluffing. And I'm going to add pine cones. You could just add, like they have those strings of berries, those white berries is what I would probably do. But I liked the pine cones. I kind of had the pine cone theme going on here, so I'm sticking with that. And I am going to glue the ones in the middle. I'm going to put 4 pine cones in the middle, and I am going to glue all 4 of those down. The others, depends on where you put them, but they can be intertwined into the branches. So some of them I glued, some of them I just kind of twisted around the branches. And then I have these little berries, and I'm going to just stick the little berries into the pine stems. And you can, of course, make it as full or not as full as you want, or not full at all, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I didn't want it to look too busy, but I did want to add just a touch of color. So these little berries have white, really dark maroon, and really dark green. So you can only see the white, but there's a few other colors in there you can barely see. And then I'm going to put a bow right in the middle, and I chose white again to make it more wintry. So we're just going to make a nice big white fluffy bow, and I'm not going to glue it or anything. I'm literally just going to set it in between those pine cones. And that was good for me. I did cut the ends at an angle. I did not dovetail them, but just literally just cut them on an angle and trying to make them the same length. And that's it. A cute little centerpiece. Again, something super quick you could do if you had a party or have someone coming over for dinner, if you have your family members coming over for dinner or something like that. Just a quick little centerpiece you could make in just a matter of minutes. I love the quick, easy crafts. And I thank you so much for stopping by Nattys Crafts today. I sure hope you had a lovely holiday season and are ready for the brand new year. And you should always remember to leave a comment down below, give a big thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the bell so that you know when the next video comes out. I sure appreciate you guys coming by. And do remember to appreciate today, as tomorrow is never promised. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.